Hi, good morning or good afternoon or whenever you watch these videos. Spoiler alert, it's day 2 of the Christmas Advent. So I'm just going to look for it now. Oh, it's on here on the top. Okay. Day 2 is a mini bat again. Let's put my basket with my lights on the floor. And it is, if I remember, it's solidite. So the stone solidite, and it has Icelandic wool, alpaca, merino, Lutissa silk and milk tencel. So it's ideal because it's got fibres in there that you may have not tried before. So it is in these lovely different tones of, I suppose it's dusky blues, and there is tiniest little hints of green in there, grass green, with these silvery hand-dyed fibres that I've added in there. It's lovely. It's got absolutely gorgeous feel to it, really soft and luxurious. So that is approximately a 25 gram bat, which everybody gets one of these in their little packs. So there we go. So I'm gonna spin it off. I think with this one I'm actually going to make a conscious effort to spin it really thinly. Yesterday's one had texture in it with the lapis, so I wasn't really bothered about trying to make that spin perfectly, but this one, because of the drape on it, I think it really needs a bit of concentration, so I am going to spin this worsted. Excuse the animals. They did this yesterday, didn't they? Trying to make debuts on my show. There we go. So we've got Cricket this side of me today while I sit and do the spinning. So, yeah, so I hope you like this. I'm not sure. Now, I haven't put any extra little mini gifts in my daily ones. So if you receive a gift or an extra item in your little packs, just drop a note below to remind me what it was that I put in there. Because even though I know what I put in, I can't remember what days of the weeks I've put in there. So I will, there we go. Look at the silky shine on there. So yeah, so I'm going to go off and spin this up now. And I've got a compilation of short haunted stories from the Cumbrian area, which I'm going to voice over while I'm doing my spinning. So I hope you enjoy them and you spin along with me. See you on the other side. So the first of my short stories of the Cumbrian haunts is the Kirkstone Pass Inn. It's a building which has a long and somewhat colourful history behind it, and that it's all part of its charm. Former coaching inn can be traced back to the 15th century, and records show that it has also had links to an ancient monastery. So it comes as no surprise that there seems to be several ghostly residents who are not all that keen on leaving. There are several tales of apparitions and spectres who are believed to be spirits of travellers who died while making the dangerous journey along the winding Kirkstone Pass between Windermere and Patterdale. One of the most well-known of these tales is that of Ruth Ray. Ruth was said to be travelling to Patterdale to visit her ailing father and had her small child along with her. Unfortunately, the weather took for a turn for the worst, as it was apt to do in the area, and soon the snow had gotten so heavy that she was finding it difficult to find her way. When Ruth did not return home, her husband set out in search for her, only to be confronted by his wife's frozen corpse. However, in her arms was the baby, tightly wrapped in layers and very much alive. Ruth is thought to haunt Kirkstone Inn to this day, and it is believed that her appearance is actually a warning to travellers of bad weather rolling in. Ruth certainly isn't the only spirit to have been seen there. There is also the ghost of a young boy who was apparently run over by a coach outside. Pictures have been snapped of a 17th century coachman in the bar area, and there are also stories of poltergeist activity and the ghost of a woman who was hanged for murdering a child, spectral hiker and terrifying grey lady. So the next one I have found is Eden Hall Country Hotel. So Eden Hall Country Hotel is set in the idyllic Cumbrian village of Eden Hall. It is a picturesque hotel with a pretty exterior which hides a much deeper, creepier side to the hotel. This is one of the most haunted places in Cumbria, and the ghosts have a habit of popping up in mirrors. The ghost which was spotted most often at Eden Hall Country Hotel is a female spirit who hotel staff and guests alike have seen in room 25, which since renovation works has become room 4. She is often seen sitting at the end of the bed, or she will appear in the bathroom mirror while guests are taking a bath. The mirrors throughout the hotel have seen more than their fair share of apparitions. In fact, the bar area used to have several mirrors above the bar, and these have been removed now following a large volume of complaints from customers and bar staff that apparitions would frequently form in the mirrors. However, taking the mirrors away did not quite down the spirits. An older woman is regularly seen appearing in the bar area. She takes a chair in one corner where she has a great view of everything that is happening in the bar. Dalston Hall Hotel was built 500 years ago, and it is said to play host to a large number of ghosts, making it one of the most haunted places in Cumbria. The most prominent spirit is said to be that of Lady Jane, who is often seen walking around in the gallery above the main hall wearing a Tudor-style dress. Another of the Cumbrian ghosts who is said to call Dalston Hall Hotel home is the handyman. He is said to spend most of his time in the cellar and is often said to move around the barrels. Also, on occasion where workmen have been busy inside the property, there have been reports of the handyman also handing tools to the living workmen. He seems like a friendly enough spirit who is just keen to keep on working. He is described as being a very big and physical-looking man wearing tweed trousers. He allegedly shares his cellar with a non-human entity who has been affectionately dubbed Mr. Fingernails. I wouldn't call that affectionate, would you? This being said to appear as a black mass at long fingernails, it moves very quickly and will often loom over people to scare them. However, investigations have agreed that the entity is not harmful, just a bully who likes to scare people, and it's not clear whether or not the handyman and Mr. Fingernails actually get along or not. There are plenty of other spirits in Dalston Hall Hotel, including a girl with a pale face who is often seen being dragged down a corridor outside rooms 4 through 6 by her hair. Witnesses have claimed to see her being beaten and even raped by a man in leather clothing who then throws her out of a window to her death. It is believed that she was a courtesan from the 1500s. There is also a group of 3 women and a little blonde girl who is seen watching people going up and down the stairs, but they never do anything else, just watch. Another spirit is said to stand by the window in room 4 and staring into the distance. People who have seen her say they are overcome with sadness and that on some occasions an older lady comes in to check on the girl. Carlisle Castle's another one. So castles are usually always fairly good bet when it comes to spooky events, and Carlisle Castle is no different. The castle dates back to 1093 when William II built it as part of his defences against the Scots. It is a Norman-style motte-and-bailey castle built on the site of an old Roman fort. The castle has changed somewhat troubled history and changed several hands over the centuries. There has been such a long and violent history that we may even have expected a few more ghosts than those on record at the castle. Let's start with the most famous of the castle ghosts, the Phantom Lady. In 1823, a young soldier was on duty and was terrified by the appearance of a ghostly apparition. So scared, in fact, that he attempted to run her through with his bayonet. When it passed through, he fainted. He never recovered and died of shock the following day. It has been suggested that the appearance of this phantom lady could be linked to the discovery of a skeleton of a woman dressed in tartan and holding a baby, which was found bricked up inside the captain's tower back in 1820. She had been putting an appearance in every now and then, and ever since. And then in 1992, for 3 consecutive nights, the alarms in the King's Own Border Regiment Museum were triggered, but no sign of anyone could be found, at least not living. The Fairy Steps. This next location is not exactly haunted in more traditional sense of the word. You won't find spirits here, at least not human ones. Instead, the rumours surrounding the famous Beetham fairy steps relate to fairies just like the name suggests. The steps are carved into a giant limestone boulder, and they were originally part of one of the lake's corpse trails, which were used to transport the coffins of the dead to their final resting place. In fact, if you look closely, you can make out some of the iron rings that were threaded with ropes to haul the coffins up the incline if you ever go to visit. The legend linked to the site is that if you're able to make it all the way to the top of the stairs without touching the sides, then the fairies will grant you one wish. Castlerigg Stone Circle. I'm fortunate to have been able to go to this place. It's just a few miles up the road from me, and it is absolutely wonderful. So the Castlerigg Stone Circle is one of Cumbria's most breathtaking sights. It consists of 38 stones which vary in sizes and shapes. These are all completely unhewn, with some of them standing about 5 feet tall, although some of them have fallen over the years. This is only to be expected considering the circle is thought to be around 5,000 years old. It is estimated that there would have been 41 stones originally making Castlerigg, one of the most well-preserved stone circles in the UK. There is very little doubt that the stone circles can be magical and mysterious places, and this one is no different. The circle is famous for one particular strange occurrence, an unexplained light phenomenon. In 1919, a man named T. Singleton and his friends witnessed balls of light dancing slowly over the stones. This is something that has been reported in various stone circles around the world, giving weight to the idea that they are magical places. So I hope you enjoyed that. Right, so there we go. So that's day 2, and that's the Icelandic and alpaca. That's the main content of that fibre, and it's spun up really pretty. It's got that lovely stone-washed denim look about it. It's like a mid-blue. So the reason I went for Icelandic is because its staple length, I mean, it can grow its fleece 6 to 8 inches in any 6-month period of time on the Icelandic sheep. But it's also a very luxurious wool, as well as strong, and it's micron count roughly about 27 to 30 micron count. So I thought, well, with that, excuse the cat being noisy, I thought, well, I love playing with alpaca anyway. I personally like to spin it, and it really does complement a wool. So you're adding a little bit of extra dimension into the wool to help it become a little bit more softer, and you end up with a slight, I don't know if you can make it out there, but you do end up with a slight halo, but it's not overpowering like you would get with a kid mohair. There are strands in there, but I always find I get that with Icelandic wool anyway. But it really does spin up very fine. There's areas of this where I'm probably looking at his sock weight on that spun and yarn, and it's one of those fibres that I always say it's your layering wool. This is the wool that's perfect for your shawls, your scarves. You could probably knit some thin mittens or gloves, or fingerless gloves even come up really well with Icelandic wool. So there we go. That's day 2 of my Christmas Advents. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. Drop any comments below if you're not sure, if you think whatever you've got in your Advents that I've not made note of, just drop them in the box below, and I can mention them the next day. So you take care of yourself, and I'll see you tomorrow, day 3.